everyone. Welcome to Quest for Player 2 on this Tuesday evening. We are going to be talking about something that I have a very difficult time pronouncing.
Well, we all have a difficult time pronouncing it. Even the people that made it up or have the word defined have a hard time pronouncing it.
It is called Pisanthrophobia.
Boom! Baby, she got it right off the bat. Woo!
We only listened to it like 50 times before this started, so you know.
I can definitely say it now. It's Pisanthrophobia.
Yeah, we listen with that English accent, so...
Oh my God.
And how did we come up? Why are we even talking about this?
Well, with It Chapter 2 coming up, of course that has to deal with fear, because that's what it feeds off of.
Yes, he's pretty much like a Bogart, right? In the Harry Potter thing. So he finds out your deepest fears and changes into that to like suck your energy, kind of like Monsters, Inc.
That's
I have never seen it. I have never seen the original series in the 90s either, the Stephen King one. I don't like clowns, so...
Okay, oh, well, I mean, still, but you can see the new ones?
I have not.
Oh, come on.
I might think about it. It's so popular. I might go back and watch it. And I want to do this It Funhouse that they have in Hollywood, or near the Pantages, and I really want to go check it out.
Is that thing free?
It is free, but tickets are sold out, so there's a standby line. But yeah, it's a 40-minute experience, though, so I feel like it's worth it if you get
40 minutes?
Yeah.
I think Joe went. Anybody else go? Anyone here? No one's gone?
I wanted to go. Did we get tickets?
Yeah. Can we get tickets? No?
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's horrible for
us.
us.
Yeah, so we're talking about it. So Pennywise changes into your fears, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And in relationships.
Oh, we thought it would be best to be able to talk about fears.
Yes.
And, how they can actually hinder a relationship. And that's exactly what Pisanthrophobia is. And we also wanted to go ahead and kind of bring that in because, of course, with it, sorry, I'm spinning everywhere, they're the red balloons. The red balloons automatically instill fear in every person that sees them. Yes. But one thing that automatically instills fear in a person in a relationship is a red flag.
Yes.
So we wanted to be able to discuss those because those can go hand in hand, and some of them can hurt, some of them can help. So you need to know exactly which ones they are, what's a fear, what's a red flag, what to steer clear of, and, pardon me.
Too much soda, man.
Too much soda.
And too much saying Pisanthrophobia.
Pisanthrophobia. But the definition of Pisanthrophobia is the fear of trusting people the fear of trusting people due to past experiences with relationships gone bad.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we will be talking about today. I feel like a lot of people deal with this. I think it's natural, especially if you have a relationship and you have a bad breakup. It does kind of, I don't know, sour your outlook on relationships, I feel like a lot of times. But
It can, and that's a big thing. And with that, it's like, you got the question, or you got to wonder about when it comes to, like, well, red flags, you should kind of have those set up and figure out exactly what are your boundaries. Because with red flags, there is a kind of level where you do set boundaries, so you won't have to run into them. You know?
That is true. And red flags are more like warning signs. They're not necessarily deal breakers yet. Deal breakers is like a hard no pass, you're donezies. Red flags are like, ooh, that doesn't bode well.
Right.
But I might be willing to let that go. But when you get multiple red flags, I mean, by their powers combined, it becomes a deal breaker.
By their powers combined.
Captain Planet comes out and is like, no.
Well, see, that's true. I have, like, what I like to call them, because it's like, you know, red flags. Red flags are usually what you see when, you know, like, say when you're driving. Red flags kind of, hey, watch out. So I like to say red flags and seatbelts. That's what I like to say.
Oh, I like
red
that.
flags are the things you got to watch out for. Seatbelts are the golden rules. The definitely hard fix. Do not do.
Okay.
So they will keep you where you are.
Got it.
That's why I like to say red flags and seatbelts.
Do you have an example from your personal life that you would be willing to share with us?
Okay. I have a list of my red flags.
All right, let's go through them.
My red flags, some basic ones. If a person is non-affectionate, that's kind of like a red flag. It doesn't mean you're going to break up with them, and it just kind of pay attention to that if they're non-affectionate. For me, sexually repressed is something that's like, this can end up being a problem because it can connect or stem to other things that have to do with the past, and that can ruin a lot of things for me. Emotionally closed off or even cold. That's a red flag. Something you want to really discuss and try to see what you can do to change. Hating their parents. That's because that can be a red flag for me. Disrespecting me in front of my friends.
I was just about to put that up
I was gonna say I'm not a fan of that. That's a red flag for me.
Is there a borderline? Can they tease? Is teasing okay?
Oh, teasing fine.
But
that's why it's a red
straight
flag.
up being like mean, like.
Oh, dude,
okay,
just,
got it.
Yeah, you know.
Got it.
Oh, yeah,
but a fun little tease where it's like, Daniel did this weekend, and everyone can have a laugh. You're laughing. That's
exactly.
Okay. But the moment where you're not laughing along with everyone, you're like.
That's exactly it. Thomas Franco will be our. Also, just letting you know, Thomas Franco will be our question of the night, and he sent it in to me via Instagram. I see that, and we will go ahead and address it when we get to our questions. Definitely. Yes. And another one I have is sharing our problems with everyone before sharing them with me.
Yeah, I see that as well.
Red flags, not, hey, we're breaking up, just red flags, because it can happen once, it can happen twice, and then you're like, hey, this is what bothers me, and this is why.
Yeah.
You know, and then usually somebody
you're
can
the
go,
one that's
okay.
in the issue, so, like, should talk to you first.
Yeah.
Maybe not for every single little thing, but, like, for the major things, I feel like, yes.
Right?
In beginning dating, like, you know, we don't know each other too well. In the beginning, you're going to talk to friends. But
yeah.
Once you're in an established relationship, you got to talk to that person first.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So those are just some of my red flags. Like, immediately, once those happen, I kind of pay attention to, because those things happen. Pardon me, the soda. Those things happen, I'm still going to drink more. And those things happen, and immediately it's like, that kind of bothers me. It kind of bugs me. It rubs me the wrong way. It is something I don't like. What else I don't like is the fact that we did not introduce ourselves.
Oh. Well,
I didn't realize it. Oh, we will tell you.
If you do not know who we are, and this is your first time tuning in, I'm LT.
And holla at your boy, it's me. That's right, the BSG, Battlestar Galactica, a.k.a. the intergalactic... No. Shut your face. The intergalactic... the queen, really? No, I was going to say the... Wow. The intergalactic instigator, a.k.a.
like
the purveyor of petty.
Why did you say that name?
What did I say? What name? Martha?
Martha!
Martha! Oh, God. Sorry, guys. We enjoy ourselves here, and that's a great thing to do.
It is. But we're also going to try to help some out with, like, relationship problems. Because I feel like everyone has them. Like, one of my red flags is, like, hey, you hide the photos of us on social media. Or you don't accept tags. You know, that's one of the things I've encountered. It's like, I didn't know it was a red flag until it happened.
Okay.
And it's like, oh. Man, that did not turn out well. But it is one of those things where, like, your past relationships can instill that kind of fear into you, which makes you weary of future relationships.
Ooh.
You know? So, hey, what up, Larry Newbill? Thanks so much for that super chat. He does have Scooby snacks for me.
Yes,
We're actually eating right now. He got me,
actually, I did.
Peel and Pull Twizzlers.
Yeah.
Tropical berry form, or what is it?
What is this?
Punch?
Tropical
punch?
Tropical punch.
We got
fruit punch.
He brought me fruit punch Twizzlers. We are not sponsored by them, but if
not
Twizzlers would like to sponsor us.
Hey, if you guys would, we'll actually
delicious.
show your bag on television. But until then, we're not going to. We're just going to peel. No! Oh, okay. I thought you were taking away because you didn't like the sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at this. This is from a company, and they have a candy named Twizzler. Yeah. We're not going to say what the company is because they're not paying enough money.
They're almost gone.
But they're almost gone. So it's that good.
But it was good.
So give us money, guys.
I know. Thanks so much for that super chat. Hey, did we also get another super chat?
We did.
think we did. I don't know how to computer good. So I will leave the computering up to you. But it also looks like... Hey! Andros, the Warrior High Alpha.
Oh, I love it. Teen Titans, TMNT, and Devil May Cry. They all love pizza. What can we get? When can we get a crossover movie like that? Any thoughts? That's interesting.
I've never seen Devil May Cry.
I didn't know Dante liked pizza.
Everybody likes pizza.
Oh yeah. Oh, except for Joe.
Oh yeah, he hates bread.
Yeah, he's I don't know. Weird. He has no soul. But Teen Titans, TMNT, and Devil May Cry, they all like pizza.
I feel like Teen Titans and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is like a very easy mashup. But also I don't know what the last one is. So.
Oh well, Devil May Cry could also be a mashup because he's supposed to be like a demon's son. Like, and his mother is a human. Raven, same thing.
Oh, yeah, that works
So then
out.
after that, it could be something where Trigon, one of his people, was the one that actually made Dante. And then after that, they all have to work together to stop Trigon or something like that. And the TMNT, it all happens in New York. So then that would be why the TMNT is even there.
Nice.
Dang.
There was
So
like
I just drove by with
bass.
Woo, ghetto blasters. Sorry. That's my answer. I think that's how that will work out. So there you go. Look at that. We are making and breaking stories here, right on Crush a Player 2. It's not even what we're supposed to do, but we will do it for you guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Andros. We appreciate that super chat. Larry Newbill with another super chat. He's going to send more snacks over there from the Cosmic Sea.
Oh, I love it.
By the way.
Oh, he did say
Oh, nice.
I mean,
Yeah, there's snakes, snakes, snacks, and snakes. Both of them.
Where's the meme? Hold on. Where's the meme?
I've definitely read snacks because that's what you asked.
Right?
If we were playing Heads Up right now, I definitely would be talking about snacks.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
I
wow.
love my snacks.
So Anthony Montano says, Daniel, I had a bad experience in a previous relationship where a person was able, how they were controlling really well. How do I move past that so I don't judge other people with new relationships?
This is where you develop the red flags. I feel like when you see like little hints of controlling behavior of like, it might be small, like, I don't like it when you hang out with those people.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't like it when you do this.
Ooh.
Oh, like, if you love me, you won't do this anymore. If it's something that's kind of positive, like, hey, you're blackout drunk every weekend, I would really appreciate it if you didn't do that. But if it's something like, I don't like your friends, I don't think you should talk to your family. If it gets into, like, culty kind of things where they're trying to isolate you or manipulate your behavior,
Oh, yeah.
not good. That is definitely a red flag. And that might be the time to bring it up and be like, first time, I think I would let it go.
Right.
The red flag pops up and you're like, I see that it's there. I'm in the caution zone.
Right.
If more come up, that's when that conversation needs to happen. The first one I would let go. Red flags are one of those things where I will give you the benefit of the doubt almost every single time when it comes to red flag.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Because if it's a deal breaker, then you're out. But if
Okay.
it's a red flag, I'm just in that caution zone and I'm listening and I'm like paying very close attention to what you say and what you do. And if any more pop up, we'll have a conversation. If it doesn't go the way that I want it to go, I think it's time to say goodbye.
It is. The Come Up 18 says, honestly, just take that as a lesson learned. And then kind of, step away from it. And that would be it. Which
See,
I
Larry
do kind of
says
get that. But he did say snacks.
But go ahead, continue what you're saying.
No, but he says it's a pretty much, just take it as a lesson learned, which is a little bit of good advice. I can say that to an extent.
Come up
Because
18, like, I feel like that is, like, that's everything. Any experience that you have is going to be a life lesson as long as you're paying attention and you learn from it.
Exactly. And I agree with that. I mean, I think, like, you can't, once again, don't ignore the red flags. But the problem is some people do ignore them because they're wearing those rose-colored glasses. Yeah. Wearing those rose-colored glasses, every flag looks red, even if it's not a red one. So the thing is, it's like, you're just like, oh, okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And you're not paying attention because you're so happy. You're just happy at the fact that you have someone. And that can sometimes be dangerous. You got to pay attention, especially if your friends, other people start to tell you, like, hey, watch out.
When your friends come up, it seems kind of weird. But also, the thing is, I also said benefit of the doubt. That's kind of a gray area, depending how long you want to give them that benefit. You know what I mean? Because it was kind of a vague thing to say. And or it's just like, I will give you up to 3 red flags before, and I will give you 2 in the same category before that conversation comes up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 2 of the same red flags?
Yeah.
Before it's like, all right, hey, I got to pull you aside.
On the second one, it's like, hey. The second one comes up, and I'm like, hey, you mentioned this twice now. Why would you say something like that? Or why would you do something like that? Or, what provokes you to do this very red flag thing?
What provokes you to do this thing that's pissing me off?
Yeah.
Because it's pissing me off.
And when you're dating early on, it's like you're not so emotionally invested. So I feel like it's easier for you to come up and just be like, what the heck is this? Or I don't know, for me, like, once you're invested, like, sometimes you're like, oh, but I love this person. You're more inclined, I think, to let things go because you focus on the good things. But when you're on, like, the first couple dates, it's like, hey, I'm still on the fence. I don't know if we're going steady or not.
True. And Anthony, we definitely still get it as far as them being controlling, them manipulating the situation so it looks like they're not controlling. The thing is, ultimately, I have an opinion about this when it's like someone's manipulating a situation. After a while, you have to recognize the fact that they are manipulating it. And you have to be strong enough to say no more. Honestly. And if you are not strong enough to say no more, you're allowing the manipulation. There has to be a moment where you have to be able to stand up on your own too and be able to be like, no, I don't like, I don't want, and this has to stop. Or you have to make a decision. I'm still going to go ahead and allow this to happen and say nothing, or I'm going to say something. It's one of those two.
And it's hard, and you don't want to get manipulated for so long. This is how abusive relationships, a lot of times in an abusive relationship, what the case typically is, it's not always, but the guy would abuse a girl, they'll break up, she'll get a restraining order, and for some reason beyond anyone's comprehension, she will go back to the abuser because that abuser knows how to manipulate. So you don't want to blame the victim either. You do want to stand up and you want to have that support for anyone that's saying like, hey, I don't want this anymore. But if there is a master manipulator out there, they know how to get you back. Baby, I changed. I went through this. Like, I can't live without you. Like, I know it's like, you know, they will bring in things like, oh, hey, remember when this terrible thing happened to you? And I was there for you. I was the only one. And they will know how to manipulate you. So you need to like really reflect inside when that happens, especially with a controlling person, but especially with a master manipulator. Like those, be careful. They exist. Boys and girls.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. And the thing is, still, nonetheless, some people are unable to see the red flags, like we said before, when they're in the relationship, wearing the rose-colored glasses. When you're out of the relationship, you're able to see everything. Hindsight is 20/20. So now with that comes the problem of what Anthony pretty much brought up, which is the topic, Pisanthrophobia. There you go. Which is now that you have experienced this kind of downfall within the relationship, you become almost like just... you're afraid of every other relationship. Now you don't want to trust people, and you get too close, and then automatically you're like cutting them off, pushing them away. I had a friend recently who was just saying that. Like, she's at a point where it's like, I don't know. I don't want anyone to get too close, and when they do, I immediately sabotage the relationship in a way because I want to push them away. I want to get them away because I don't want what happened that time to happen this time. And with that itself, you're torturing no one else but yourself. But actually, no, you're torturing yourself and that other person, because there's a person that is good for you, a person that wants to be connected, a person that wants to really take their time to invest in you, and you're too afraid, or you think that you're not good enough to be invested in, you'll push them away. Or if you're afraid that, oh, they're just doing this like someone else, and then they're going to turn and become this other person. So now you're pushing them away. By doing so, you're closing yourself off and not giving yourself the chance to love, to actually have someone, to connect to someone. And then you'll start to find out that a lot of people do that with just even friendships after a while.
It's true. People do shut them off. Like any kind of relationship that you have, that if you've been burned, you don't want to kind of go back into the fire, you know? Like, you look at it that way, and it's like, I don't want to get burned again. I don't want to deal with that. Like, it was so heartbreaking and so traumatizing. So it is hard. It's hard to get back in the game, too. Like, what you're saying, you need to do it, but go at your own pace.
Yes.
Be comfortable, and the right person who understands that comfort and is willing to work with you, they're the great person. They're a great person, whether it be a friend, relationship, anyone else it might be.
That's true.
They're going to work around you and work around like your maybe insecurities, as long as you're kind of open to be like, hey, I really like you, but got some baggage, you know, and like it might come out sometimes that I may not intend. And like, if you're upfront and honest about how you are, I feel like they would be more receptive to be like, oh, hey, I think you're just being a little sensitive. I didn't mean it that way. And you could kind of have that better conversations.
Have you ever had a moment where you suffered from Pisanthrophobia?
I did. It was one of those things for a while where it's this person that ghosted on me, and it's like you never have that closure, and it's just like, and it was one of those things where like, oh my, like, you know, we'll break up, and then like a few months later, like, hey, you know, I miss you, I'm gonna come back, and I'm like, what? We haven't even talked. But it would mess me up, you know? And like having this in the back of my head where it's like, wait, what if he does come back, or what, you know, because it was a long distance thing. And it's like, oh, and I was like, maybe, but I don't want to get into anything else in case it does work out. But also I'm kind of scared of like, you know, like what if I do fall for someone else? And like, it was just a weird thing.
True.
And like New Year's came around, I was like, dating someone else, kind of? And sabotage it, because on New Year's, my time, even though it was like different, so like coordinated specifically to happen at midnight, gave me a call and be like, hey, you know, I just wanted, I was like, at that point I was like, what the fuck, this guy's a dick, this guy is a master
manipulator.
Yeah. And I was
Definitely.
like, no, but it does happen, and that fear lasted like a significant amount of time, you know.
True, it's true. My gosh. Wow. This is interesting. What's going on here? The Come Up 18 is asking Anthony how many relationships he's had. He said he has 4. And so he answers, only 4? Don't worry about it. Take this as a lesson learned for future women. There's more sociopaths out there like her that you will be glad the first one that taught you the lesson. So now you actually recognize it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah,
does.
I
Like,
agree.
more people-
That's good advice.
Like, honestly, even if you only dated one other person, like, hey, you learned something from it. Even if you
Yeah.
didn't date anyone ever, that's why we have this show. So maybe you
Yes.
can avoid some of the pitfalls, and the first person you date will be the true love of your life.
Yeah, hey,
that is
it's
the
possible.
ideal situation. I feel like it doesn't happen too often. Like, it's not something that's, like, the norm out there. But
exactly.
we're trying to help you avoid pitfalls. So no matter how many relationships you had, like 0, 1, 1,000, there is always something that you can learn.
Always.
Even if you are in a relationship and you are happy and good together, there is always still more to learn to, like, you know, be more compatible, be more supportive and respectful, and like build each other up.
Oh,
Stronger
definitely.
relationship.
Definitely. Also, something that you should definitely, when it comes to red flags, one red flag that I always suggest is when you're in the group chat here, never listen to Cool Handle Name or Josh Goldman.
It's true.
Those are red flags.
Yeah.
Anything they say.
Yeah, everything.
Red flags.
Their little
so-
icon
wait,
should
wait,
be a red flag.
Okay,
Just-
so I'm going to ask you this then. When have you ever told someone that they were being too sensitive or to calm down and it worked out to your advantage?
Never. Being honest, never. Never has.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been told that I've been too sensitive and I didn't overreact. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I've had it where I've been told,
Yeah.
but never
when
where
have you
I've
ever-
told someone
Yeah.
and it actually worked
Yeah.
out. No. Never. Never worked out for me where I've told someone they're being too sensitive and it works well.
How do you not become jaded when it comes to new relationships? I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard. There are certain things, and that's why, like, my little list of deal breakers and my little, like, red flags, they pop up more numerous every single time I leave a relationship. To not get jaded is, like, always just trying to take a step back and ask, like, their intentions. Be a better communicator. I feel like in relationships, the one thing that I've learned is I've become a better communicator in general. I don't hold back if I have a question, and I feel like if you're gonna be my partner, you're gonna be open and receptive to having a conversation. So I don't have that fear anymore. So maybe, like, might come off as rude or too blunt, but I'm just like, I'll just say what's on my mind. So that's the only way I don't get jaded. But man, it's hard not to, because everything in your past will come up eventually and be like, oh man, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. But I've just learned to ask. And it's like, and if your answer is genuine and I'm okay with it, it makes me feel better. Because there are good people out there.
Well, see, this is the thing. Like, one of the red flags is kind of where it's like, beware if they talk too much about their ex. If it's always a conversation concerning their ex.
That does concern me.
Either positive or negative, it can be an issue. Because if it's positive, after a while, it's going to kind of feel like,
You miss
are you
them.
comparing me
Yeah.
to them? Do
And
you
that's the
miss
thing. You
them?
never compare your ex to anyone that you're dating. No two people are the same. So to bring it up in, like, casual conversation, I don't think is okay. If it's something that you ask, like, I'm just curious, like, why did your last relationship end? Or, like, you know, was this an issue? Or if it kind of comes up like, oh yeah, like, this has been an issue for me, or if it's like cheating or something, it's like, you might want to probe some more, because I would want more information.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
But if you're just bringing it up, it's like, oh, my ex also loved daisies. Oh, my ex also used to do this. Like,
Oh,
yo, that's neither here nor there, so why are you bringing this up, you know?
true. That's
Yeah.
very true.
That
And
is a
it's
red
kind of
flag.
like, yeah, it's like, well, what else are you going to do? It's just like, you have to let it go. You have to kind of let it go, but the thing is, you don't want it to happen, and it's you can get tied up in that because, like I said, it can be good, it can be bad. But the thing is, either way it goes, it's kind of like if it's positive and it's always about him or her, then it's like, well, you know, is
What
it
about me?
comparison
Yeah.
or what about me?
Yeah.
And then if it's negative, it's like, so are you worried that I'm going to do these
Yeah.
things, or also why are you always bringing it up?
Yeah.
It can get that way, and it's kind
And
of
is
like
it why
living
the
the
ex,
here and now.
unless you're bringing up all the times, like, oh, my friend likes that too. Oh, I like this. My mom, that reminds me of, and like, that's the kind of person they're like, oh, that reminds me
Yeah,
of this
exactly.
person, and
If-
that person, and this
if
person. If it's mixed
everything-
in and it's an
Yes.
equal opportunity bringing up, like, random
Fine.
stuff, like, oh, my cat when I was 7 also really did that. Oh, okay, you're just that kind of person. But if you only bring up your ex, you know, like, then yeah, definite red flag. Definitely think you need to.
I can agree. I can agree with that.
You know?
I can definitely agree with that. Now,
Everything is situational. It depends on the person. It depends on like your interactions with them. So that's why I'm like, very few deal breakers, but tons of red flags and always a benefit of the doubt.
Another one.
At least once.
Another one that a lot of people have. Because I've been trying to go through and I've been bringing up this list and I'm going over other people's like red flags and just kind of comparing and compiling. One that I've been seeing a lot, people say the lack of effort for compromise.
Yeah, that's one that I need to work on personally. I hate compromising.
Why?
I'm like raised in a strong female family, and
Okay.
my mom is always right, even when she's wrong.
She's always right.
Right, you
That's
know,
my
she's
mom.
like,
That's our
you know,
our
and it's
household.
hard, like being raised as a female in that kind of environment, and I look up to my mom, and I love my mom, and it's like I'm right, but it's like we all know she's wrong. My dad knows she's wrong. Like everyone, we're just like, just let her have it. It means nothing. But you know, but at the same time, I find myself doing these things too, and it's hard for me to take a step back and be like, yeah, I should compromise. I've been too selfish, and I'm sorry. But it is one of those things. It is hard, but if you have that, if you're willing to point it out, though, in a nice way.
In a nice way?
In a nice way.
So
Not
what's
in
a
the heat
nice
of the
way?
moment.
What's a nice way?
Okay, so there's this one thing, and I remember it was a huge argument. It was my friend's 30th birthday. I was super excited. We've been friends for a long time. I'm like, 30th birthday, we're gonna party, we're gonna rage. The guy I was dating at the time is like, I really want you to come to my friend's wedding. I was like, I've never met your friend. I don't want to go.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go.
That can be weird.
And I was like, and I don't know anyone else there. And you are in the wedding, so I'm gonna have to sit by myself. Why would I want to go to your friend's wedding? He's like, this is probably going to be the only time that you're going to meet my parents. And I was like, I already know that your parents don't like me. Why would I want to meet them?
Oh.
I want to go to my friend's birthday.
Right.
He's my close friend. I want to go to his birthday. And it was one of those things, it's like, it came down to like, it took a long time, but it was like, you see him all the time. I know it's a big celebration, but this is really the only time that you'll be able to meet my parents. I was like, you make a good point. And the thing that tuned it in is like, it would mean a lot to me if you could do it for me. And I was like, okay. I was bitter though.
It was like, I'll tell you what, I'm
Because
going to go,
we broke
but I
up.
don't like it.
We broke up, and that 30th birthday party looked popping.
Oh, dang.
And his parents didn't say a single word. Like, I introduced myself, and they're like, okay. They didn't even say hello or nice to meet you or anything. Like,
okay, so why did they not like it? Be honest.
one is because I'm Japanese.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's a racist
That's what
thing.
I thought. I thought it was.
Yeah, it was a racist thing.
See.
So, you know.
See.
That's why I didn't want to beat them. But I mean, like, to do that compromise, I feel like most people are more willing. It's like, if it means a lot to you, I'll do it for you.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
I could do that compromise, but you can't be pulling that out all the time. This was a big thing where I was like, I don't want to meet your racist parents. You already told me they don't like Japanese people. I'm obviously very Japanese. They're going to hate me. All right.
Yeah, I guess.
That compromise didn't work out, so never compromise.
Well, also, beware if they seem to be more invested in your friends' whereabouts, schedules, and things that they do socially versus even yours. Because that's something apparently a lot of people have talked about. I have like a top 10 list, and that was one of the 10 where they're like, yeah, apparently like that's a thing that happens. I've never experienced it. But where they're more invested in your friends' like social lives and where they're going, what they're doing, versus you.
That's weird.
I don't understand how that works out, and that's why I put it on the list and I put it so low because it was like one that I kept seeing come up, and I was like, does anyone experience that?
Do you? I know. I've never actually experienced that.
Yeah,
but
if they ask,
I'm the life of the party, so everyone wants to know about my life anyway.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but I mean, I get the whole thing is they ask about enough, that's where their interest lies, and if their interest lies in your friends and not you, then it's like, did you get with me for my friends? Is that what you got with me?
Or is it
like,
one of those things where you've been dating for like 10 years and you're just like, you see each other every day and you're like, so what about your friends?
Yeah,
Maybe
what about you? Yeah, get away. Or no,
Tell
maybe
me about your single friends because like we've been together so long. I want to have that like, I don't know, one of those reality TV shows and hear about the gallivanting of your friends, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that does happen where it's like,
That's
hey,
true.
you know, like your friend, he's been dating, right? Like, tell me some stories because we're so comfortable and in love, but every once in a while you want that drama, you know?
You do, and you're like, so
But
tell
that
me about
doesn't
your
sound like this
tell me about
situation.
your single messy friends. I
Yeah,
want to know
right?
what they're doing right now. And
That is the
who
only
yeah.
reason why I would
That's
ever
true.
care about anyone else's friends. It's like, hey, we talk every day for multiple hours. And like, I know everything about you. We do everything. Tell me about your hot mess friends.
Yeah, I would love to know about that. That would be a good one. That would be a good one. And some words of advice.
All right.
Before I get to my seatbelts.
Okay.
Words of advice. The person who cares less has all the power in the relationship because nobody wants to be the one who's more invested.
Okay, so I have a question. Is there always somebody more invested?
I would think
Or
so.
can
In
you-
relationships,
or is there ever
I think
like
there's
an
always
equal
someone.
amount? Can you love each other equally? Is it possible to
See,
love
and
each other equally?
It is possible, but I haven't truly seen or experienced it. Usually it's one or the other, and sometimes it will kind of teeter-totter,
Okay.
where it's like,
Okay.
at one moment, this person's like, oh, everything in the world just revolves around you.
Yeah.
The earth, sun, stars, and the moon, it's all about you, and that's why they
Yeah.
exist. And then, then later, they're just kind of like, ugh. And then that person is like, now
Yeah.
that's how I feel about you. And it goes up and down. There are moments where it always stays in just one way, like, hey, I'm a grown man, and you're just a kid on the seesaw. It's like one of those or something. So, I mean, it can go up and down, but I've never seen one that's just equal. But have you seen or experienced something like that where it's like, okay, this person cares just as equally as I do?
I don't know. I feel like some of my friends, but I'm not in it, so I can't speak for them. But I look at it and I feel like it's equal. But I do feel Ryan is a cool. But I do feel like the ideal is equal. I don't know if it always is though. I
So,
feel like
that's
my
a good
relationships
question.
is always one or the other. Like
Uh-huh.
like I can tell when I'm the one that loves a person more, and it always feels kind of shitty.
Oh, it does.
It feels
does.
shitty, and but I've been in relationships where it's like obviously you care a lot more, and it also makes me feel shitty.
Well, it
like,
should.
Why don't I like care about?
It should, because unfortunately but the thing is, when it makes you feel shitty, it's a good thing because it lets us know that you are not a sociopath. You're not a horrible person. And you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to work on, blah, blah, and you can make that level. Versus where you don't, and you're just like, well, keep giving me all the attention. Everything's fine with me. Then there's a problem with you.
Okay.
And that's where there's an issue. So it's fine. It's fine to feel kind of like, oh, that's shitty. That's good. That's good.
It is, but it is one of those things where it's like sometimes the reasoning is like, you're a good-looking, very personable, attractive person. You can find anyone you want. I'm like a decent human being, and I'm a girl, so it's like pretty easy to get.
True. Ooh.
Like I don't want to put it like that, but and it's just.
So Whitney Wilson asked the question of, how do you guys think it's supposed to be?
It's supposed to be equal. Like I would ideally want it to be equal, and then maybe that's why none of my past relationships have, turned out into everlasting love, because I feel like there was like an inequality of how maybe invested we were in each other. And I don't know if that's what it is, or maybe I'm just idealizing it, and it should be 100%.
Just
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Like your partners in crime, I rely on you, and everything is. I don't know.
For me, I feel the seesaw is it's normal, it's natural. I think that actually works out well. Where one fails, the other one picks up. Where one picks up, the other one fails. And this way, someone is always there to help the other person.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, living in life, when it comes to love, you always need a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I think that's something that people don't really recognize or realize. There'll be moments where it's like, hey, you become focused and fascinated on one finite portion of your life, and that portion may be career, it may be social, it may be this or maybe that, blah blah, and it's not your significant other. That's where your significant other comes in, where they're like, okay, I'm focused on you, and I'm here to help you as well during this. That's where you're like, all right, I'm down in the dumps because I'm thinking about this thing, and they kind of lift you up, and then when you get up there, you're like, oh, now we're on that same level. It's like, oh, thank you, you were there, blah blah, and then then you're up here, and then something happens, and then they drop, and then here you come to pick them up. And then it just works that way. So
I like
think
that, but it's
that's
always
how
like
it
a
should be.
support. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
it's still there, and it still is 100% on both, but it just may not be as visible outwardly as
I
other
see
people
what you're
say.
saying. I do understand that,
That's
but
what
it
I
is
find.
like the equal support system. I do feel like that is a better way to phrase it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I like that, where it's
There
just
you
like
go.
it can't be like that all the time, but it should kind of be equally from both sides
Yes, there should be.
at any one point.
If there's infatuation, it should be infatuation on both sides.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, then something may want to be reevaluated. Doesn't mean that there's a bad relationship. It doesn't mean, oh my God, break up with them. They don't love you. No, it doesn't mean that. I think, in my opinion, it just means that, well, sometimes there needs to be some type of a level of reevaluation. Doesn't mean things are bad.
Yeah. I actually really, really like that. That's super insightful.
Right?
So, yeah, I like that.
Okay, all right. Let me see something. Commitment.
What do we got next?
Ooh. I had a note here, and this is interesting. The only difference between your actions being romantic and creepy is how attractive the other person finds you.
It's true. 1,000%. 1,000%. And you'll never know how to gauge this because you never know what the other person is thinking.
That's true.
You never really know what the other person, especially in the dating situation.
That's true.
Because obviously, like, you know, hopefully if you're officially dating someone, they're into you. You know,
I would hope so.
Let's just
I would
hope
hope
so.
so.
Let's take that as like, you know, yeah. But yeah, like there are certain things like if you watch any rom-com, and we kind of talked about this in other episodes, maybe not to this extent, like there was this movie called The Notebook that was like for my generation, like the romance movie of our generation.
It's still going for other generations.
Is it? So if you guys have seen The Notebook, you have what's his name, Ryan Gosling,
Yep.
and the other chick, right? And they meet when they're young, and he loves her, and it's like, hey, let's lay in this street and watch Signals or something, and they grow apart, you know. And he buys a house and fixes it up off of one conversation that they had like sex and time,
right?
and it's like, hey, come to my house, I still love you. And it's like they haven't seen each other for like years and years and years, and she's dating somebody else.
That's something of the red flag. When you
Objectively,
are dating
that is a creepy thing. That is a terrifying, creepy thing.
To still pursue, even when someone's dating someone else.
And you've never, and like the mom kept all the letters, so like
and...
she thinks there's been no communication whatsoever, and it's like, that's creepy.
Yeah.
But she was into him, so it's okay, and it's a great love story.
It's a love story, but it doesn't mean it's actually the best thing.
There's a ton of movies like that where it would just be absolutely creepy.
Not even just creepy. It's the worst. It's the worst thing.
It really is.
Now, Anthony Manzano asks us another question, and he says, what's your advice for high school kids? Do you recommend they wait till they finish college so they're emotionally mature to start a committed relationship?
I don't know. I don't think so. It depends on the person, though. But if you're fully committed and you are doing like double majors and you have a ton of stuff and you have to work, may not be the best time for you to emotionally invest in another person if you don't have that free time to build a relationship. But if you're just like, kind of, if you have the time for it, why not?
Yeah.
If you find the right person, why not?
Why not? Why not?
You know?
There's also a reason. I mean, you know, it's like, that's kind of like, the thing, really, for that, it's...
Do
it depends
not
on the
listen to
individual.
Cool handle name. Gosh darn it, cool handle name. Get out of here.
Cool handle name. No one likes you. Go away. Go away, cool handle name. No one likes you. You're evil. You're evil. Bring Shay back. Go away, cool handle name. You're a bad person. Bring Shay back. All right, so anyway, going back to it. Going back to it. Because cool handle name, once again, as we said, he is a red flag himself.
Yeah.
But waving, flaming, inflatable dude, man. But like you said, it depends on the individual. Yeah. And honestly, when it comes to emotional maturity, different people mature differently when it comes to emotions itself. Also, emotional maturity is something more. It's not finite. It's not something where it's like you can put a pin in it and say this is exactly it, because
and you are
there
always
different
getting
areas.
More emotionally mature.
That's
it
right.
is not one of those things that like you cap out at a certain time.
That's true.
Like,
that's true. You will grow with everything that happens to you. You will grow emotionally.
Or I hope you do.
Yeah,
I hope there are some people out there that never do.
Well, once again, those people are called sociopaths.
Yeah.
There's a sociopath. Sociopath is the one who definitely has a moment to learn, an opportunity to learn.
And it's like,
chooses
I'm already
not to.
good, I don't need to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone else, usually a regular functioning human being, does indeed learn. And so with that, indeed, your emotional maturity is indeed just increasing and growing and growing and growing.
And I would
Your
hope
level
until
would.
the day you die, just like learning new stuff, it should be happening. Make those synapses work, become a better person every single day that you
Exactly.
live.
Because remember, no one is perfect.
Yeah.
And the great thing with that, since no one is perfect, that means you always have the opportunity to grow. You have the opportunity to learn, but you have to want to. And
Yeah, you
when
have to
it
put the
comes,
effort in too.
and when it comes to that relationships, you have to make sure that, well, as we always say, communication is key. Be open. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable in a relationship. And along with it, when it comes to high school relationships, just kind of know that they're going to probably come and go. I don't know too many people that are high school sweethearts, but I do know some people that they were high school sweethearts and they married and they're still married and very happy. But I don't know too many.
I can
And
count on one hand.
there you go.
Out of all the people I know,
Yeah.
I can count on one hand, and it is extremely rare. And then even most of them had split at one time to explore and came
And
back.
came back.
Because the
So-
thing is, like, when you go through phases of your life, like, even when you're in elementary school to middle school is very different. Middle school to the end of high school is very different. College is very
Yes.
different. And the work environment, once you get into the workforce, is extremely
Oh,
different.
different.
So when you get into these different phases of your life, you might mature in different ways from the person you're with, and you might need to kind of spend that time apart and
right.
then find out who you are and reconnect as the new people that you are. So.
Yeah. I mean, you hear it all the time. People say we just grew apart. Because the thing is, I mean, you'll grow, and sometimes when you do grow, you may grow and hang a left. You may just
They
go
go
straight
this way,
and
yeah.
go right. It happens.
And you never know, like that, and you'll find out with friends too. Like the older you get, you'll realize, like, you know, I've been friends with people in high school. We drifted apart during college, went very separate ways. Reconnected, extremely good friends now. I have friends that's like, hey, friends through college, you know, kind of drifted away, and hopefully we'll be friends again in the future. But if not, it's never hard feelings. I still wish them the best, and I still follow them on social media. But it's like we are very different people from when we met.
Now, Toku asks a question, and he says, is that maturity, though? Not caring and knowing what to care about are different. So, yeah, not caring and knowing what to care about, that indeed is different.
Yeah, when you,
Definitely
I feel
is.
like when you degaff, that's like when you hit rock bottom.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, like
That's
not
true.
caring about anything. It's kind of like that. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, you become empathetic. Like, you become this person who's just like,
Yeah,
well, there's
that-
nothing. There's apathy,
Yeah,
right?
that like complete apathy kind of leads to like psychopathy kind
Yes,
of a little bit
yes,
where you
sure.
just don't care and like yeah, I don't know. I feel like there are always fucks left to give.
I think
I am
so.
one of
I
those
think so.
persons where it's like no matter how terrible things are going for me or other people or the world, like I still care to some extent about usually a lot of things.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
would think so. I would think so. That makes sense.
At least myself.
I-
As a true psychopath would say.
Just like, at least me.
Right?
Now, I had some seatbelts, but actually what I want to do, we can get to those seatbelts any other time.
All right.
Thomas Franco had a question.
Yes, and we didn't have time to get to it last week. So what does he write?
All right, so Thomas Franco says, here's my question. My question is, my girl and I had talk about us living together.
Oh, yeah, it's a
and
long distance, as far as I remember.
and shit, her son just started school.
Oh,
I don't want the little guy, her son, Felix, to think, wow, you just giving names.
that's fine. We don't have last names right now.
Let me see.
Skip the
Felix,
last name.
yeah, exactly. Felix to think I'm replacing his father. She works a lot, and the thing is, she's been going through some horrible, hard home shit right now.
Okay.
Like her cousin, who's a cop, was shot in the second Texas shootings this past weekend.
Dude, yeah, that was-
She almost got hurt. Well, when that happened this past
Yeah.
weekend, you say. In the second shooting weekend, she almost got hurt as well. Her and I plan on getting married, have kids, etc.
Yeah.
I've been there for my girl since she left her baby daddy,
Okay.
and for her son also. I consider the little guy my own. What should I do? Thanks. Well, Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. My girl she lost full custody of her child, and her dad is really ill, so she's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that is a lot of stuff that I think she needs to deal with herself, because there's gonna be like PTSD from like if she was in that shooting. That is a massive crazy thing to be in, and to learn how to cope with that is crazy. To know that a family member was killed in that shooting is going to weigh heavily. I'm not sure what the situation is of losing custody with a child, but I do feel like there is a lot of things that she needs to deal with before she can
move into like,
I'm not
hey,
gonna lie,
let's go
her main priority, like, and this is gonna be kind of crappy, her main priority is not you at this point. It is probably her family, her son. And it is her, and I know that may not be what you want to hear, but that is what she needs. She needs to focus on herself, she needs to focus on her family, and she needs to focus on her son. You are definitely there, and like, yeah, like, you are almost family when you get, like, you're not quite married, but if you're heading in that direction, she needs to think about you too. But in this specific situation with all this going down, her focus is very narrow.
Her cousin was shot, wounded, not killed. Okay,
but
cool.
still, even like wounded, like, to be that is a heavy thing, and like that kind of brings you out to kind of like a greater political crisis about our country, about our safety, about where you live.
Honestly, I agree with you. And the thing is, right now, I would suggest that you kind of remember that right now you need to be a beacon of support. You need to be there to support her. You don't need to be there to make a decision or to make a change. Right now, put the wedding on hold because things need to happen for her to make sure that she's okay. And the move, definitely. Because right now, father is ill, that's going to be a thing. Yeah. That's going to be something that's, I mean, you're going to go ahead and move, and then if the father's ill, and it's definitely ill, and then she has to go back. And
or
then she has
if
to
something
deal with
happens while she's away, she might have that regret. I would put it in her court and be like, hey, you know, I would love you unconditionally no matter what decision you choose. I want you to make the best decision for you. Yeah. And if she was like, no, I really need to move, I really can't be here, like, this is, you know, super traumatic for me, and like, I do want to move in with you, and she makes that decision, that's fine. But I feel like right now you just need to say whatever you want at this point in your life, I'll be there to support you. That's the easiest thing. And I agree. Don't force her to make any decisions. Just be like, whenever you're ready, let me know. Just know that I will always be here for you and for your son.
Don't be that selfish dick.
Yeah.
Don't show up and be that guy that immediately says, yeah, okay, you know what? I understand this is happening, but I can help you, and you need to be here with me so we can blah, blah. No. She needs to be where she is right now. Apparently there's a lot going on. Yeah. Be there to support. Be there to help. Be there to kind of lift her up in the moments where she feels that she's dropping down. Because the thing is, that's what she needs. She needs someone in her corner right now. There's a lot that needs to be taken at home before she can leave home.
Yeah, and she's going to appreciate that, to have, like, in these kind of times of crisis, or, like, you know, emotionally stressed out and all this other stuff, to just have someone there to support you and to talk to you, and not even offer any suggestions to help, but just to listen. That is kind of the best thing that you can be for her right now. It's just an ear and listen and comfort and support. Don't try to offer advice, because it's like, no one has been in this specific situation as she is. No one knows exactly what she's going through. Even if you had a family member that was shot, even if your parents were sick, it's like, her relationships to these people are very different.
Yes, so. That's right. Everyone's relationship to everyone is different. So yeah, be there to listen. Be there to support. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Hopefully we gave you some advice that will help you, something that you can kind of take back, listen, hear, and, you know, make your decisions and your choices according to what you feel is best. So
keep us updated, though, because that is a really big thing, and we know your questions from before, and we kind of know your whole situation, and we're rooting for both of you, but now especially her, like, going through this kind of very stressful, traumatic time in her life. So keep us posted. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know as much as possible. I mean, we'd love to be able to share the updates, if you're okay with that, with everyone else, so everyone else can, you know, that's here and rooting for you as well. We can still, you know, make sure you're okay. So that's exactly the kind of advice that we would love to be able to just provide you and kind of help out with. So with that being the case, I think we have exhausted our time.
We'll be back next Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
That's right.
Player 2. And we will be having our Sunday show. I have been gone for, like, we've been gone last week because it was Labor Day on Sunday. And I was gone the last 2 weeks. So I'm super excited if you want to tune in to the Retro Ranger wrap-up and Live from Gallifrey. That'll be on Sunday.
That's right. Oh no, no, you won't be here.
No, I will be here on Sunday.
Should be here on.
Tell them what we're doing in Vegas.
Oh,
Oh, that's
so
right.
there's actually a really big thing that's going on. Do you think we're gonna put it on Facebook?
No, probably be Instagram.
So Instagram, if you want to check out the Instagram. Hey Toku Kid, thanks so much for that super chat. Y'all need a Steven Universe themed episode. Actually, I really need to watch Steven Universe. I have not watched it yet, but I know the movie just came out on Monday.
Yeah, I did.
And a lot of people are talking about it, so I definitely do
Oh
want
my
to get
God, it
into
was
Steven
good.
Universe.
That's true. You know, maybe next week. That's what we'll do. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, maybe next week.
You gotta give me a couple episodes. I don't think I can watch the whole series up to date.
Oh, no, forget about that.
But give me a couple of them, or at least a movie, and maybe we could fill it in. Because I know the movie's a big thing with some kind of fusion of like the boy. And
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my God, it's
I
huge.
saw it. It was just online. But yeah, if you guys want to follow THS Illuminati on Instagram, producer Josh and I will be going to Vegas to. There is a big grand opening for the store. Razer. They don't sell scooters. They sell computer equipment for gamers. It's going to be super interesting. We're going to be there live for their grand opening. Doing some live videos, live TV. I don't know what they're called. Live stuff from Las Vegas. So definitely follow THS Illuminati if you have the opportunity, because we are going to be posting a lot of cool stuff. And if you don't know what Razer is, please check them out. They have the little snake heads.
Yeah.
I like it. It's actually on all the gaming gear.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
like
and they have this really cool light-up keyboard that I super like. So hopefully I'll be able to get to see that. They do headsets. They do all kinds of stuff.
That's true.
Razer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Like, their equipment is so good. But you'll notice with the little snake logo, a lot of times it'll, light up, too.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool. I like it.
Good stuff, high quality, and it's something that
right now.
if you are a gamer, you probably already know exactly what Razer is, and if you're not a gamer, go ahead and find out. Especially if you happen to own a PC, you will love what they do.
Yes.
So go ahead and check them out. RAZER. That's Razer, and they'll be there for all your gaming needs if you happen to be a PC person. Especially now because the Ranger game just was released on PC.
Nice.
So a lot of you guys happen to be Power Ranger fans, and a lot of you guys happen to be gamers. Bring it together right there for you. So with that, exactly. And also, never forget about Cosmic Protectors.
Yes, that is the other account we want you to follow. We are working hard on it. Still on the first issue. We got the recordings and everything.
Yes!
We already released the cover of our first issue. Please follow us. We are Cosmic Protectors on Instagram. We are Cosmic Protectors on Facebook. We finally have that up and running. So just look out for that. If you follow us on anywhere, please I don't know, follow us and all that stuff, because the weird algorithms sometimes mess it up. So even if you give us a like or a random comment, it doesn't even have to be relevant. But please do positive things. We like that.
We do like positive things. It helps us to be able to push forward and give you some of the great content that we are working hard to do. Also, check us out on Patreon at Cosmic Protectors. Oh, I'm sorry, it's patreon.com/Cosmic Protectors. Even if you aren't able to go ahead and become a patron, you can still check it out and see exactly what can be done and what is available. Maybe you just want to do it for 1 month and see some of the options that you're able to take advantage of, and take advantage of them then. Doesn't matter. It's a great thing to be a part of, and you can actually be a part of everything that's happening in Cosmic Protectors. So check it out.
I'm sorry.
Oh God, here it comes.
Here comes producer Josh.
That's a weird delay. So this month we sent out to our August patrons a fan quest. They got to ask Liana Ramirez from
Plays Roxy.
Questions.
Yes.
And we also gave them full color previews of the character designs for your character, which is named Daniel.
Yes, that's right.
Cosmic Ranger.
Purple Cosmic Ranger.
And for Kelly's Pink Ranger.
Yes, who is the Pink Cosmic Ranger. She's super cute. If you haven't seen her, follow her on Instagram as well.
Make sure you check those out. We will not be releasing those to the public for quite some time.
Yeah.
If at all. We've released the line arts, but not the full color versions of it.
Exactly.
We do want to keep that exclusive for our patrons.
Yeah.
I said the word.
We said it right. I love it. So head on over to patreon.com/Cosmic Protectors so you can be a part of something huge from the ground up, because once it happens, it's going to blow up. Trust me, guys. So with that, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.
Good night, guys.
Oh, I like that the times are on there now. That is actually
my
quite helpful.
God.
I like that ending.
I literally just made this while you guys were doing this stuff.
This actually looks really good. If you could dress it up a little bit.
Yeah, I want to dress it up a little bit. So before you guys go, what I want to do is I want to replace this with a video.
Oh, okay.
So.